Carousel rounds are gone in TFT Set 17. No more rushing out to grab your component, no more losing your mind when someone takes the item you need. For the first time in TFT history, the carousel just doesn't exist anymore, and what it's replaced by is way more interesting. TFT Set 17 is called Space Gods, and the whole set mechanic is built around these Space Gods. Instead of carousel rounds, you now get to choose between two gods who offer you powerful effects that shape your game and how they play out. Let me break down exactly how it works, what each god gives you, and what this means for how you should be playing, including what happens to lost streak strategies now that there's no more carousel priority. Let's get into the new gods mechanic. At the start of every game, there will be two random gods. On what used to be carousel rounds on stages 2-4, 3-4, and 4-4, you'll now be choosing between two different offerings from these two gods instead. That's 3 choices in total. Here's the key part. Whichever god you side with the most across those 3 rounds, you get their blessing at 4-7 in a treasure armory. You are now aligned with that god. Let's go into this in more detail, but just for reference, I got to play this in a private playtest, so I'll be showing you screenshots and real examples throughout this video, but keep in mind that these final numbers aren't locked in yet. This is still really early, but this is the set's core mechanic, so here's how each god plays. So this is the complete gods list. There are 9 gods in total, and they offer something completely different, and these shape the way you play your game. Let's go over each of them one by one. So let's start with Aurelion Sol.
My stars shine for all.
He offers quests with high rewards. These are examples of some of the quests you can get from Aurelion Sol on the god rounds. If you do align with Aurelion Sol more throughout the game, you get to have his blessing, or you get to choose one of 3 trials to do your final quest. So if you liked Ishtal questing from set 16, you're really gonna like Aurelion Sol's new offerings on the god rounds as well as his blessing. Let's talk about Ahri.
I'll be the star in your night sky.
She distributes more econ, so if you like going fast 8 or fast 9, she gives you a lot of good offerings on these new god rounds. And if you align with her on most of your god rounds, on the treasure armory on 4-7, you can get her blessing, which gives your team 2 AD and AP per level, as well as gain 2 XP each round for the rest of the game. Let's talk about Evelynn next.
With infinite power comes an infinite capacity for pain.
She offers gold, but at a cost. She offers more gold than Ahri, but there's always some negative effect that you might have to consider as well. If you do align with her throughout the game, you get her blessing, where your team gains 10% durability, but you lose 1 additional HP when you lose combat. She differs from Ahri by not forcing you to level with her blessing, so if you just want more gold, you're just gonna have to pay a price. If you like playing on that edge, Evelynn definitely offers that playstyle. The next god is Ekko.
We make the future.
Who offers a blast from the past. But basically with all his offerings, you have to wait turns to reap your rewards. And then there's his blessing, which gives you an anomaly, similar to set 13, but it's not champion specific or anything like that. You gain an item that based on your role gives you a really powerful effect. Next up is Kayle.
The righteous path begins with me.
Who distributes more items. Basically on every single god round, she offers you more and more items. Kayle's blessing, if you do align with her, upgrades a random item to a radiant. So if you really like radiant items and want to play for 1 giga unit, Kayle offers a path for that as well. Next up is Soraka.
I lend my aid.
Who offers health and healing effects. So not only can you gain tactician health, but you can also gain health on your board. And if you align with Soraka more often throughout the game, you're gonna gain HP on your board based on your missing tactician health, and you'll also gain a mini tiniest titan effect where you'll gain a little HP each round. If you're playing the new cash out trade and want to get a huge cash out, or if you're just barely trying to eke out a top 4 and need the HP, this is a good god for you.
This blade never gets any lighter.
Yasuo offers hex upgrades. These hexes can have some unique effect that empowers the unit in it. So if you really like having 1 strong carry or a specific synergy with a hex, this can be really, really strong. Yasuo's blessing, if you choose him more often than the other gods, increase the power of Yasuo's hexes, but if you only have 2 hexes, you just gain 12 gold. Now let's talk about Varus,
First of many.
who offers champions and duplicators. Varus is all about starring up your board. And in fact, if you star up the board, your blessing is based off of that, and your team gains 10 HP for each total star level in your army, and you get to increase your 5 cost odds by 4%. This is not only good for reroll, but also fast 9 if you want to tempo and just hit your units fast and then go straight to 9. Last but not least is Thresh,
Torment comes in so many flavors.
who offers random chaos. He gives you random boons that other gods can offer, but with that randomness, you get a bit of gold. So if you feel like you can play around the randomness, Thresh gives you a lot of upside. The downside is that you don't get to choose. And then if you align with Thresh more often, you get a dice to roll and you can get gold based off of that. So if you like randomness and you like playing around what you get and you just want a bit more gold, Thresh is a great option for that. So now that we've gone over what gods do, depending on which gods show up, you'll want to consider it deeply into your game plan. And that's what makes this mechanic so interesting. If Ahri, Evelynn, or Soraka are in your game, you're getting way more econ, and that opens up the door to more greedy level 9 boards that you normally couldn't afford to get to. If you like living on the edge, Evelynn, Ekko, Aurelion Sol, and even Thresh let you gamble for high variance payoffs if you like playing on that edge. Varus gives you champion duplicators, which you can use that to 3-star a reroll carry, or just snag a quick dupe early and then pivot into a higher cap board later. The point is, you're not necessarily needing to commit to anything on 2-1, and you can see how your god plays out. You can also choose a playstyle that makes sense for you, or try a bunch of new combinations out based off of your gods. And I think this is going to be a really fun set because there's just going to be a lot of different strategies going on that are totally based on your lobby and based on the gods in your lobby as well. And this is kind of the flexible TFT that I love and why I'm genuinely excited about this mechanic. Now that we know more about gods and the gods mechanic, let's talk about what this means for loss streaking, because there is no more carousel, which means there is no carousel priority. So the whole dynamic has changed. Before, your benefit of loss streaking was that you could get an earlier pick and guarantee your component, and you could possibly find that key or OP unit that you were looking for on carousel to come back. Now that just doesn't happen anymore in set 17. Instead, they added this comeback mechanic. If you're first or second, you get nothing extra. You just get a standard god offering, and you get to choose between units and gold. If you're third or fourth, you get a Reforger on your next PvE round. And if you're fifth or sixth, you get an Anvil plus Reforger on your next PvE round. And if you're seventh or eighth place, you get 2 Anvils and a Reforger on your next PvE round. There's also a detail worth noting. As players die, everyone's rewards scale up. So if only 4 players are left, the survivors get 5th through 8th tier rewards, not 1st through 4th. So what does that mean for us? It means that loss streaking is just weaker now. Your components are never guaranteed, so you can't reliably set up that loss streak line into a bounce back like you normally used to. The Reforger is really useful if you're running an emblem heavy comp and turning a spat into a pan or vice versa, and that's real value, but it's definitely more uncommon of a situation. I did ask the dev team about this directly, and they were pretty clear that set 17 is balanced more similarly to set 16, where strong unit quality matters a lot more than vertical trait power. There's still one more topic we need to go over, which is late game carousels and how they've changed as well. So the late game carousel replacement is actually really flexible with this new set. Instead of running out to grab a unit, you are presented with a choice. And here you can see it's 3 random completed items on the left, gold in the middle, and a completed item on the right. The random items are highlighted in red because they're random, but the gold and anvil options give you a reliable fallback if nothing in the random pool fits your board. The net result is that you have more flexibility to cap out your board in the late game than you ever did chasing a specific item on carousel. You're now choosing what you need rather than gambling on what's there. And you have the flexibility of taking a lot of gold if you kind of just need the upgrades. This set is going to reward players who can read their spot and adapt more so than any set before it. There's going to be a lot more decisions for players to make throughout the game, more paths to win, and that means there's more room to express real skill in our decision making. The players with strong fundamentals are going to have a massive edge this set. And if you want to make sure your fundamentals are locked in before set 17 drops, Links are in the description below for my fundamental series. As always, thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. If you're ready to actually start climbing, head over to tftgameplan.com. dpei's Disciples is my monthly coaching membership, and it gives you full access to my daily meta reads, weekly live Q&As, personalized feedback with unlimited spot reviews, and full access to my library of past coaching sessions, all for $15 a month. One-on-one coaching is also available if you want to improve even faster. Links are in the description below. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.